Hello, my lovely lady. You struggle with anxious attachment, don't you? Or you're anxious, or you're in a relationship with an avoidant, or blah, blah, blah. I don't know what your story is. I hear a lot of stories on my TikTok DMs. Today we're going to talk about why you attract avoidant men. Let me start with this, okay? Avoidant men, if you are watching or listening, I think majority of you are lovely people. Same with the anxiously attached women. Lovely people, kind-hearted, good people. You both just come from trauma, okay? So in no way, shape or form am I dismissing or trying to make it seem as though avoidant men are bad men. If it is possible for someone to have an attachment style and be a bad person, but in that case, we're talking about a narcissist. Narcissists either have anxious attachment or avoidancy, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about avoidant men who have a good heart, who are good men, but they're avoidant, okay? And you're anxiously attached, okay? So it's not that you're better than them. You guys are on the same playing field, all right? However, I know avoidancy can really make you more anxious and make you more anxiously attached, and your anxiousness and your anxious attachment style makes them more avoidant as well, all right? Do you see? It's like ping pong. All right, let's go. You don't just have bad luck, all right? If you're single right now and like dating, or I don't know what your story is, sometimes I hear some messages and stories of various situations. You don't just have bad luck. God did not just put you through all of this terrible, heartbreaking stuff for no reason. He would never do that for no reason. But it is so that he will, or the universe, whatever you believe in, the universe will keep putting you in the same position again and again and again until you realize that you must change in order for the pattern to not repeat. You don't just have bad luck when it comes to men. The men that date you or that are interested in you because you are anxiously attached, they come on very strong, okay? They text you all day in the beginning. They slowly pull back. They start giving very dry replies. They leave you unread, say they're not ready for anything serious, etc., etc. That is not random, all right? None of those things are random. It is a pattern. And today we're breaking down why you attract avoidant men and how to stop it. And if I keep looking down there, that's because I have notes. All right, I'm allowed to have notes. You know why? Because I want to make this as high value for you as possible. I want to get the information across to you very clearly and simplistically without getting too psychological and using words that you won't understand. Part 1, what avoidant actually means. Avoidant attachment is not about caring. They care just as much as you do, all right? If they're good people, they care just as much as you do, even though they're not the best at expressing it. They fear emotional dependency. What scares them is being too close with someone. What scares them is being dependent on someone. They value their independency on a level that you wouldn't understand because you're anxiously attached. Avoidant men often love the chase, okay? They love the chase. They feel safest when things are light and fun or casual, not serious. They withdraw when vulnerability increases. You start being more vulnerable with them and they will withdraw. And I know you're vulnerable with them because you're anxiously attached. You feel like you need to explain and over-express yourself because you feel like you're constantly not getting heard because their behavior doesn't change. They will shut down during emotional conversations and they will pull away when they feel needed. When you need them most, they aren't there for you. And again, it's not because they're a bad person. They fear being close to you. The most close time you could be with someone is when someone really needs that person. That is a significant level of bonding between two people. And I'm sure you would love that, but that scares them so much. That's why they're not there for you when you need them the most. They crave connection, they do, but from a distance. When things get real, their nervous system reads closeness as pressure. If you've ever heard, you're pressuring me, this is too much pressure, you're pressuring me. That screams that this man is avoidant. So they create distance. And if you're anxiously attached, distance feels like danger. And hence the cycle begins. So why are avoidant men drawn to you? They're not just drawn to you for no reason. Well, first of all, avoidant people are usually in the dating scene a lot more often, whereas for a secure person, it takes them some time after a breakup to get into the dating scene. So in the dating scene, 25% of the people are avoidant. So the percentages are at play, but there's also another reason. And it might sting. It might hurt your feelings, but sometimes our feelings need to get hurt so that we make changes. And I'm not going to lie to you. I'm just going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You're emotionally generous. You communicate openly. You want depth. You invest very quickly. You show care and effort very quickly and on a very deep level. Avoidant men feel safe with women who carry the emotional weight. You are carrying the emotional weight. You're carrying the backpack with all of the emotions. You initiate the hard talks. You send the long texts. You, especially women, just women in general, not attachment styles, just women in general, they love like understanding stuff. They love it. They love understanding their attachment style and understanding where it all came from and blah, 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 blah. Majority of men don't, and even if they do, not on the level that you do, because we have more intuition. We can tell when something's off in us and we will want to fix it. You initiate the hard talks. You send the long texts. You try to understand their withdrawal. You understand their avoidant attachment style, don't you? Great. That's really good. It is. But you overfunction and they underfunction. And it feels like chemistry, especially when you meet this person. Sparks on fire. But it's an imbalance. That's what it is. Polar opposites. Have you ever studied chemistry? Like you have the protons and the electrons and the neutrons, and the protons are positively charged, electrons are negatively charged, hence why we have Na+. NaCl, is it? Far out. I haven't done chemistry for a while. But yeah, Na is a plus, positively charged proton, and Cl, chloride, I think that's what it stands for, is negatively charged, and that's why they bond together so greatly. If that was too confusing for you guys, think of a battery, okay? Positively charged end of the battery versus the negatively charged end of the battery. That's why you have to put the battery in the back of the TV remote. You have to put it in a particular way, otherwise it won't work. Anyway, moving on to point 2. You confuse intensity with intimacy. Intimacy doesn't just mean intercourse. Intimacy is a broad term for being very close with someone, cuddling, kissing, holding their hand, having emotionally in-depth conversations, marriage, whatever, giving birth. All of these things are intimate things that you can experience with someone else. Hot and cold, being dry, then being a little bit closer, being dry, then being a little bit closer, all of that creates this adrenaline rush. Who of you did a lot of sport when you were little and learnt to love adrenaline? Same here, all right. When he pulls back and then he comes back, your dopamine spikes. You get addicted to him. I made a whole video recently about beta endorphin and how addicted you are to him and why you're addicted to him. When he finally replies after reading you on read, you feel relieved. He reads your text. Oh, thank goodness. I'm safe. My nervous system is safe. I'm loved. I'm reassured that I'm loved and cared for and that this person wants me. Your body interprets emotional inconsistency as passion. And that's probably because you had an emotionally inconsistent parent. And biologically, we are designed to still love our parents, plus we're children, so we don't really understand the differences from right and wrong and what emotional consistency is and all these things. So you develop that as a child. Anyway, moving on. Not always, but majority of the time. Sometimes it's just your adult experiences. Anxiety is not love. Stability will feel boring when you're used to the chaos, though. You probably already know that, though. So moving on to number 3, you try to earn love. Deep down, you might not believe me, okay? You're like, Scarlett, no. I don't need to earn love. I love myself so much, like self-love girly, take myself on the dates and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, great. Subconsciously in your brain, subconsciously, meaning you're not aware of it, you still have this need and desire to earn love. Deep down, you believe, I have to prove I'm worthy staying for. I have to prove to this person that I'm worthy of them staying in this connection with me. Avoidant men will activate that wound every single time. Every single time. Because they just give enough. Pull back when you get close. Make you work for the reassurance. And you mistake effort for devotion. You think, if I just love him better, if I just do more, he will open up. It doesn't work like that. Avoidant healing doesn't happen because you try harder. In fact, avoidant healing doesn't happen if you do anything or everything. It is up to them to heal and change. You can make them aware of their avoidant attachment style. You can't heal it for them. If you want to do anything, become secure, and that will make him less avoidant. It will. But that's the most that you can do. Number 4, you ignore early red flags. Girly, oh dear. Let's go back in the timeline with this man that's in your head right now. Early signs of avoidant behavior. If they say, I'm not good at relationships. Or if they say, I need a lot of space. Or if they say, this is pressure, you're pressuring me. Inconsistent text patterns, if they have a really deep connection with you one night and then they're emotionally distant the next day. Dull responses when conversations get vulnerable. You see potential. You see a lot of potential in this person. You think patience will fix it. But patterns, they don't change just because you understand the pattern. Same with your own patterns, your own anxious attachment. That does not change just because you understand your anxious attachment style now. They change when the person wants to grow. They change when they want to change. You change your attachment style when you want to change. Part 3, how to break the cycle. This is how you stop attracting avoidant men and entertaining avoidant men and just kind of get rid of them all. 1, you slow down early investment. Don't give girlfriend energy to someone who hasn't shown boyfriend consistency. Match the effort. If he gives short replies, you give short replies. If he disappears, you don't chase him. Very simple. 2, stop romanticizing emotional unavailability. The mystery, the depth, the silence, the withholding. It's not this mystical, like, euphoric thing. Mystery is not depth. Silence is not strength. Withholding is not masculinity. Secure men communicate. They won't make you decode. 3, choose boring at first, okay? This is if you're single, okay? Healthy attachment, it will feel calm. There won't be any guessing, stomach knots, digestive issues, no overanalyzing timestamps, no overanalyzing the fact that they have been online but still haven't replied to you. If you feel peaceful instead of obsessed, that's growth. 4, heal the part that feels at home in chaos. If avoidant men feel familiar, ask yourself, did you grow up earning love? Were your parents emotionally consistent for you? Did you ever have to overgive to feel chosen? I know a lot of child athletes definitely felt like they were never enough and were only enough once they won or were successful, but even then it was never enough. When you become secure, avoidant energy stops feeling attractive. It feels honestly exhausting. And excuse my language from being on TikTok for too long, you get the ick, lovely lady. The truth about avoidant men are villains. Jokes, that's not the truth. They're not. I made a video though where I said avoidant men aren't necessarily villains. My goodness, you guys blew up the comments. Avoidant men, the good avoidant men, again, avoidance can be narcissists, but anxious attachment people can be narcissists too. I'm talking about the good avoidance. All right? Avoidant good men are not villains. They are operating from fear, but you are not responsible for healing someone who isn't actively healing themselves. You are not responsible for healing someone who is not actively healing themselves. You attract them because your nervous system recognizes a pattern, a very similar pattern from your childhood, if not your adult experiences, and you stop attracting them when you stop participating in the dynamic. When you say no to the avoidant men, especially if you're single. If you've dated more than one emotionally unavailable man, comment down below cycle breaker, and I'll send you a resource as to how to break the cycle. If you're done chasing mixed signals, please like the video. And if you're ready to become securely attached without losing yourself or losing your softness or losing your femininity, or feminine energy, drop a subscribe. I'm just kidding. You don't have to do any of that, but I would appreciate a follow and a subscribe and a like and a comment if this helped you, or if you resonated with this, or if you found it engaging, because for some reason today I have so much energy, even though I don't, and I'm on day 2 of my period. Subscribe. It is lovely to have you here, and I wish you all the best in healing your attachment style, and I want to remind you that it's hard to. It is hard to, but it's worth it. And you're worthy and deserving of attracting your desires, and you're worthy and deserving of not living in a ball of anxiety every day and allowing these men to trigger you. Even the good men, they can still trigger you. You can still trigger the good men too if you're anxiously attached. Anyway, much love. I'll see you in the next video.